Hi, I'm Natalia Nicholson, founder of Women in Digital Business, where we empower underrepresented women to thrive in the digital world. Ladies, welcome to our speakers meeting. Can you believe the summit is going to begin on Monday? We are 5 days out. Welcome, everybody. Lovely to see you all. Thanks, Marissa. Lovely to see you all. Right, everybody is just entering into the room. Today's an exciting one. There's some big announcements. I'm going to run a masterclass. 2026 is around the corner, ladies, and it's all about leveling up this year. It's all about starting to build that table that I spoke about when we first met and start making moves to where we want to be. So I'm super excited for today, and it's lovely to see so many of you. In the chat, please do, even though I've spoken to all of you, you've all not necessarily met one another. So please just quickly, I know I do it every week, it's just an opportunity for us to get to know one another. Please do introduce yourselves into the chat. Let people know your name, where you're from, and what it is that you do. We're all on the WhatsApp group together. So it's a really magical feeling. And I'm just honoured to be here with all of you as we are on this mission. To really start building our own tables, our own communities, and our own economies. So please do use the chat. Right, it's just checking out an exclamation mark saying security. Right, I'm going to start getting my decks ready as people are still entering into the room, while you ladies are introducing yourselves into the chat. Also, ladies, if anyone's got any questions at all, because I know there's a lot going on at the moment, let's take this opportunity before I dive into everything, just to answer any queries that anyone's got. So please just either come off mute or pop it into the chat.
I'm off mute. I have a question about my podcast recording.
Yes. Where is it? Sorry, I can't see who's speaking. Is that Theora? Yeah.
So I got the raw footage. I was just wondering if you would prefer that I wait to your editor's post, or if it's okay if I post something now.
If you want to post something from that, that's absolutely fine, because obviously you've got the footage. But we will have yours done probably tomorrow, and I'll send it out. So you kind of got the option. Does that make any sense? So yeah, the one that we send you will be fully edited and on a YouTube link, and you can download it. But obviously I sent you the raw materials. So if you did want to use snippets from that, I'm fine with that. Anything that promotes the summit is a plus.
Okay, great. All right. Well, my person is like, she's just like 3 days is too short. Like, I want to post the whole thing tomorrow. I'm just like, let me get permission first, because I know that there's
that's absolutely fine. That's absolutely fine. And I get where you're coming from. And that's one of the exciting announcements that I kind of want to make as well. The exposure that this summit's getting, it's becoming bigger than me. It started off as this went well in March. It was a pilot, like we're going to do this again in October, and spending the summer speaking to all of y'all, and just the reception and the support and how everybody recognizes the mission of working together. I'm even further overwhelmed now, obviously, once we release tickets and we start ad campaigns on the reaction that the summit is getting. So it's about pushing it as much as we can, but I'll go through that separately. But thanks, Theora. Natalia, right, hang on, let me go to the chat. Is Princess here yet? Are you here, Princess? Yes, you are, Princess. I knew you would be. Sorry.
Hey, Natalia, this is Tanya. Can you hear me?
Tanya, I can hear you, yes.
Hey, I'm driving, so I can't see anything on the today.
I don't know anybody that can multitask like you. But
I know it's not good. I know. But my question is, your team is doing a lot for me and my presentation. I'm just wondering what the status is, if they're making progress, if they need anything else from me. Do you know?
I'm not sure, to be honest with you.
How to check in with them?
But I'll have a check-in with them. Princess is on the call, so we'll have a check-in and someone will come back to you between after tonight and first thing tomorrow morning. But so far, everything is in hand. We're pretty much just working around the clock on content. But I'll make sure someone comes back to you.
All right, thank you.
No problem at all. I saw another question. Let me just check. Here we go. Right, so the podcast. Also, sorry, Bruno, I'm just reading your message. Also, want to know about our podcast. When is the recording? And also, don't see my name on the schedule yet. Okay, Bruno, no problem. Thank you for bringing that to our attention. Podcasts are coming out daily at the moment. I've got another whole batch to upload to the poor editor, so he's just kind of being a bit overworked at the moment. But they are all coming out pretty quickly, so there'll be another batch. Sorry, Bruno, in my mind, I'm trying to remember where yours is in the queue. Bruno, we'll come back to you on that one.
Hi, Natalia.
Yeah,
Yes, I'm here. I cannot open the camera right now, but
no problem.
we didn't record anything. That's why I'm a little bit
That's what I thought. I got a bit confused. I was thinking, I don't remember. Did you see that? I was kind of like,
Yes.
Bruno, are you a keynote speaker? Just remind me.
Yes, in the call that
Yes,
we had.
yeah. So yeah, that's what I thought. So Bruno, there should be a link in the onboarding pack for you to book a time with me, and I'm actually quite flexible tomorrow and Friday.
Okay.
Actually, Friday evening, which is your morning anyway, so we can definitely fit it in between tomorrow and Friday. So there's a link in.
Sorry, are you in the UK? Because I think it's the same time, so I could do Friday.
Okay, brilliant. What time zone are you on, Bruno? You're on
Portugal.
Portugal. So I think you're an hour. You might be an hour ahead of me, or it might be the same time actually, because we're still on British summertime.
Yeah.
So in the evening would be perfect, Bruno. If you've got the link though, my calendar's open to all of you. So as long as I'm not in a meeting or something booked, the times become available. So go into the onboarding pack and just book a time.
Okay.
And we'll get it done. If you can't find a time, Bruno, just email us and we'll get it sorted.
Okay, thank you.
No problem at all. Right, I'm just checking there are no other messages because we are going to kick off. Right, it's 8 minutes past 8, ladies. We're going to jump into it. Any questions that you've got, keep putting them in the chat. Princess is on the call. Oh, Portia.
Yes, my question has to do with connecting, I guess, with Princess. I've not received, I know I jumped on last minute, but I've not received anything other than this link for this call.
Right, okay, that's a problem. And sorry about that, Portia. So that's actually Abby, our community manager. So, Princess, if we can drop Abby a message about Portia. And yeah, we did. It was Friday, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah,
it was.
I remember. Right. I'm actually sending her a message now because she's actually just going through all the onboarding.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. See, we're doing it multitasking. Don't worry, Princess. I've just left a message for Abby. Abby might even be on this call. So, Bruna, hopefully by the end of this call, all your details will be on your email. There we go. Hello. Right. Oh, who's that? Hey, Claudette.
Hey, my people are bugging me about my schedule. So
schedule's actually finished. So what we will do is, rather than issuing it on this call, we'll issue it on the WhatsApp after this call. So the schedule is actually done. We've just made it a few tweaks where some people needed to be changed around. But Princess will release that schedule tonight on the WhatsApp group, Claudette.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Brilliant. Larita. You got your hand up, my lovely. Are you okay? And who else has got their hand up? Someone else did.
Okay. I do, Abigail.
Hey, Abigail, how are you?
I'm good. I had a question about the podcast too, about scheduling, because when I looked original schedule, my schedule is like after the summit because there weren't any open blocks.
Yeah, and then we opened up the calendar. We opened up the calendar after that, Abigail. So Abigail, again, you're going to see slots for tomorrow and Friday. In your onboarding pack, there's a link. But I'll tell you what we'll do, Princess. if you can get Abby Princess just to DM Abigail the Calendly link, Abigail, that way it just saves you having to faff around and look anywhere for the link, and just book something in.
Okay.
And anybody that's got any problems around dates and times, let me know, because as you could imagine, we're working all over the weekend. And if you want me to be honest with you, this leads me into a great segue, actually, of the announcement that I want to make. Narita, you've got your hand up, my lovely.
I'm sorry, can you hear me? I think I was having issues before.
No problem. I can hear you loud and clear and see your pretty face as well.
I just had a question. I know everyone's asking about the schedule, and I think I kind of have the same kind of, I'm not a keynote speaker. I just recorded my masterclass, and I do have some other things on my schedule that week. So you said you're going to upload that schedule in WhatsApp.
It's got everybody's on there, not just keynotes, absolutely everybody. Because even those of you that are pre-recorded, it's still good to have a time so you can drive traffic to it and tell people what it is. Yeah, so that will definitely be coming out. Awesome. We all need to give a round of applause to Princess. She has worked around the clock on this schedule since last week. And I know with the timings, it's not been easy. Right, ladies.
It's on there already. It's already on WhatsApp.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. I just had a quick question. Is there a way, and forgive me for not being on camera, I'm actually very sick, so I don't look myself. Is there a way that we can tell who drove what traffic to the funnel? Like, can we, I'm just trying to figure out the best way to...
No, I understand that question, because to be fair, you're not the first person to have asked, just to let you know. So in terms of those who are live, talking live, we'll be able to know exactly, we'll be able to send you who registered, all the videos, we'll be able to know who viewed them. But in terms of engagement individually, like let's say, how long did someone stay on, when they dropped off, it's not possible to do that for every individual speaker. We're working on that as we grow. Does that make any sense? Because that requires us to be on a lot more of a bigger and expensive platform. But we will have the stats of understanding and knowing exactly how many people viewed and watched all your masterclasses. And to be fair, those figures are not just for next week. They're going to keep going because people consume the content after the summit as well. So we'll definitely be giving data out. I'm really big on data. We've tracked as much as we possibly can in GA4, and we'll be sharing it. But mainly what you're going to be getting is, for those who are keynotes, the people who have registered their details, and on all masterclasses that are recorded, the amount of people that have viewed and watched it.
Okay, awesome.
But next time around, hopefully we'll have even more stats, like, when people came in, where they dropped off, because that is going to be a big telltale sign for everybody to craft their masterclass.
Okay, awesome. And then like maybe an affiliate campaign, we can kind of talk about that, and maybe I can work on that so that each speaker has their own affiliate link to promote it.
So what it will be is, because the tickets are free, so to speak, you'll all have a link, obviously, for tickets at the moment. Once the summit started and tickets are given away, and actually your question is actually a great question. I'm actually going to answer it with the announcement. Is that okay? Because it actually, it actually answers your question.
Perfect.
So without giving too much away, but good questions, by the way.
Thank you.
Absolutely no problem. So let's get into it, ladies. Welcome to everybody. Like I said, any more questions that you've got, put them in the chat. Princess will answer them. Make sure you use the WhatsApp group to ask any questions that you want. No question is a silly question. We're here to serve you, work as best as we can to make this event the best that we can. So I want to get into the big announcement. And as I do that, sorry, I'm recording this, so this recording will go out. But I also want to record it on a second camera. So the big announcement that's coming is, drum roll, we won't just be promoting this summit up until Sunday. So as I spoke to all of you, I told you that we'll be advertising this summit. So the advertising took place on Meta, which is Instagram and Facebook, took place on YouTube and LinkedIn. The best platform that's performing really well at the moment is actually the Meta, which is the Instagram ads. And what we managed to do is we took our own database from women in digital business and we created what's called a lookalike audience. One of the things that's really hard to do on digital advertising is just to target Black women, to target race. Just so you know, under interest, the best you'll get is probably Oprah and maybe Michelle Obama. Other than that, you know, you can't drill it down. Like, you can't say interest like Essence, a big Black festival, nothing. So we managed to have quite, Instagram for the win. We got a good lookalike audience and it's working really well. And where it's working really well, and just the overwhelming support from everybody here, and just how we've connected as women, having a mission, wanting to level up, get to where we're going. It doesn't make sense for us to stop now. So Monday, yes, we opened the summit up and it's the launch, but it's going to be the launch for 6 weeks. So this summit is going to continue to be promoted by us through advertising, through partnerships. All the things that we were doing prior to the summit is now going to be going to the end of November. Which just means it's a lot more exposure. And we can only make this work if, you know, you're also promoting the summit. So what's going to happen is after the summit next week, Monday, the URL is going to change to Top 100 Most Powerful Black Women Masterclasses, because all your masterclasses are there. And we're going to continue to keep pushing traffic to all of the masterclasses. So even when it comes to the data, that data we'll be giving it out at the end of November, because it's not just for next week. Next week is just the launch. So even the podcast, those that haven't got podcasts in, even if they're done early next week, it means that we've got content for the next 6 weeks to keep promoting this. Okay, so this is not the end. This is generally really the beginning. And even now when I speak to people, they're like, well, you never said, I saw on LinkedIn you're doing the summit. It's just been received really, really well. And it's a blessing to have met all of you. And we're going to keep growing this. We go again in March and we're going to go again next October. And next October, we're going to make it a live event where we get to meet each other. And one of the places that we're looking at doing this is actually Ghana. I feel it's fitting to take it to Africa. It's called the Top 100 Most Powerful Black Women Summit. So if we're going to take it back to anywhere live, it should be taken to the motherland. And that's exactly what we're going to do. Speaking of the motherland, there is no way that I could have done this if it wasn't for my team. Princess, she's like the ride or die. Like, you don't understand. This woman has been with me for so long, and we're up to all crazy hours of the night, and I couldn't have done it without her. Daya, head of content, all that fabulous Instagram content and material that you're seeing on Instagram, all the carousels that she's done for you and the upgrades to promotional packs, that's her and her team that's done that. Couldn't have done it without Daya. Abby, the community manager. Abby, you know, and it's been tough, just to let you know, me and Abby, oh Lord, just to let you know, there have been a few of you that's like onboarding documents have slipped through the cracks, but you know, we got it back on track. Overall, you know, we had, out of all of you that there was probably about 3 emails that didn't go through to where they did. So for the amount of you that there are, Abby's done a phenomenal job to stay on top of the customer service and the community management and just getting all the information together. And the set of people that you haven't met, that without them, we really wouldn't be here today, is our lead generation team. Lead gen, I think you're here. Without them, I would never have been connected to you. All that work that we took to prospect and really reach out to all of you, because we felt like your skill set, what you do, what you represent would really appeal to the people coming to the summit. That was the lead gen team. Okay, the lead gen team, there's 4 of them in there. There's Anu, there's Eva, all of you. We had even new starters that joined the team where the team expanded. We couldn't have done it without you, and I just want to say thank you. There's even others a part of the team, all the data, GA4 that I'm speaking about. Ike, he's our data analysis. We couldn't know how to pull this off if we couldn't have got all the data from the past. So there's a lot of us working behind the team. Faith, Michael on design, Kajabi, Samuel, Inam. It's a lot of people it takes to pull this off. So I really do want to say thank you to the team for really believing in me, and thank you for you ladies for coming on board and believing in the cause, believing in the table that we're about to build with each other. So I just want to say thank you, and it's the beginning of it. We've got 6 more weeks. So next week we won't have a speakers meeting, but the week after that we'll have a debrief. That will be sent out in the WhatsApp group where we're just debrief of the week of going live, how it went, especially the keynotes that were going out live. And then from there, we're going to be promoting all your masterclasses, and all the content, getting the word out, spreading the word starts again. But even though it's a 6 weeks campaign, ladies, please, any WhatsApp group you've got, email list, your phone book, please make sure that you're passing and promoting the summits from now until Monday to drive as much traffic to the launch as possible. It all counts when it's coming in. So we'll have another debrief in. I saw something in the chat. We're going to be having another debrief in November as well. So we'll have a debrief after the first week of launch, and it's just good for us to stay connected. So what I want to jump into now is that over the weeks, as you know, I've looked at talking to you about your headlines. Grabbing people's attention. So when they get into the summit, you hit a pain point and they're like, I want to watch that masterclass. We spoke about how to understand who your audience is. And we went through exercises of asking a serious questions to bring you closer to the people that you're selling to. So you can make sure when you put your masterclasses together, it was aimed very much at your target audience and customer segment. Last week, again, we got things back out again, and we just looked at, okay, the business, where you are, where you sit in the marketplace. So every week on these sessions, I've just done something that will help you become more visible online in the summit and outside of the summit. And what I really want to do today is I just want to give you some guidance as we go into 2026 of really understanding how you can grow your business. I've spoken to many of you, and you're all just such wonderful, wonderful people, all of you at different stages of business. But one of the things that I definitely did notice, and forgive me because I build funnels for a living, and my nickname's a funnel queen. One of the things that I did notice is just looking at how much money a lot of you are leaving on the table. And that's what I kind of want to look at today. So as we're promoting the summit and we're going through the 6 weeks, if there's any promoting, marketing, anything you want to refine about your business, it's just a good time while we're churning out content, while you've got your masterclass up, while we've got that visibility online, just looking and seeing, okay, for 2026, what direction do I want to go in? What can I take from here? What do I need to start doing? So I just want to help you with some KPIs today. Tara, you got your hand raised. Are you okay? Oh, no problem.
Yeah, I was just asking about the podcast recording because I hadn't done it yet, and I saw the schedule, but it sounds like it may not really matter if I do it beforehand, really.
Yeah, so even if we did it early next week, it's fine, but still use the links. I know I've got spaces in my calendar on Thursday and Friday, and I'll be working on Saturday as well.
Okay, Sunday girl. Too. Thank you.
No problem whatsoever. So with that said, I just really want you ladies to start thinking about KPIs as we start building the presence of this summit. And for those of you that go on to be in March and beyond, even if you're in this one, I just really want you to think about your objectives and what you're working for, what you're working towards, so we can all work towards all of our goals together, because that's the whole idea of us coming together. So I'm going to share screen. I have prepared some decks. Oh, we don't want that. That's my WhatsApp. Oh, sorry, ladies. I did not.
I'm so glad to see you have a million tabs because.
Oh, don't. I know. It's really bad, isn't it? And if you asked me to shut it down, I would say to you, but I need them all.
Right. Yes. Yeah, I feel seen is what I'm saying. Relatable.
Hang on. Do you want to know something else? I've got a second screen as well.
Yeah.
That's got another whole load of tabs opened on it as well.
Yeah.
That's a woman on a mission.
I work in organized chaos. So those tabs, in my opinion, are all things that I need to be doing. Right, let me go into present mode. Sorry, I'm so used to using Microsoft, and I haven't used PowerPoint for a slide deck in so long. I'm usually on Canva. Right, so you should be able to see the screen, but it looks like it's got presenter notes, and I don't need those. Oh, gosh. Right, sorry, ladies. I've got the bar. Right, there we go. Let's put that over here. Let me move this up here, and we are ready to go. So, like I said, I just really wanted to help in terms of, we've pulled the summit off. We're promoting ourselves. We've got a masterclass. Many of you are driving that traffic to booking a call, driving it to your own funnel, driving it to something of small value, driving it to a webinar. All of you have got call to actions in your masterclass and you're driving that traffic. But what I really want to look at as we start working more and more with one another is making sure that you're working towards a clear objective. It's really important. And to have an objective, you need to have like KPIs. Sometimes it's so easy to lose sight of the numbers when you're trying to get visible. You're just trying to get noticed. You're trying to get more customers. You've got bills to pay. You need to get to a certain amount of income. There's an element of being an entrepreneur that, we are very other people centered as coaches, consultants, and content creators. And we live to make sure that we help people. We're passionate. We believe in what we do. And sometimes that can overshadow some of the operations and logistics and some of the business elements. And what we really need to be clear on is really understanding, what are we working towards? What are our KPIs? If I know I want to get 10 customers, how many impressions am I going to need? How many click-through rates am I going to need? How much leads do I need to collect? And out of those leads, how much do I need to convert? At each level that I just went through, the conversion is going to be anything from 1% to 30%. 1% means your business is viable. Really, you should be looking to get to a 5% conversion from impression to click through to collection of the lead to conversion. And then from there, you should be working your way up. Once you start seeing figures like 10, 15, 20% conversion, that's when you know you've landed. But if you understand the KPIs, you understand the objective and what you're working for, that's how you can really grow. So this is just a short, it says 60 to 90 minutes. It's not. It should actually say 45 to 60 minutes. It's just a masterclass that I put together just so as we continue to work with each other, you can really start to be aware of what you're working towards and have a plan of how you're going to get there. So I'm not going to waste a second of your time. The masterclass is going to require your undivided attention. There's some exercises, quick fire exercises I want you to do with some numbers. So if you haven't, please go get a pen, get a notepad, grab your phone, get something where you can just jot down some notes, because what I want to do by the end of this session is make sure that you've got some clear objectives. And I'm also going to go through just 3 key core principles. That is a way of you to really grow your business. If we want to build that table, we've got to start bringing the clients in. We've got to start getting more visible. We've got to start growing our businesses. Okay, so how do you get more sales for your products or service? And what we're going to look at is the 3-step profit accelerator, okay, of really looking at where am I and how do I really maximize profit. And let's keep it real. Some of you might be feeling like, I'd love just 1 or 2 customers, 3 customers. At that period when you first start your coaching business, there are things that you've got to do free to get visibility. Some of you are incredibly experienced and knowledgeable, but maybe you was working in corporate, or maybe you was, self-employed or contracting for someone. Just because you haven't had, any of you that have only had minimal clients, can't get the words out. For those of you that have only had minimal clients, it doesn't mean that you're not an expert. Your experience would have come what led you to where you are. It's just unfortunate that this world judges you on how experienced and good you are by what your bank balance looks like. But what we want to do is get your bank balance to where you want to be so you can really focus on your business and be able to grow it. So how do you increase your sales without spending money on paid ads? I stayed in this place for a while. The reason why I'm so excited about the results we're getting from Meta is because there was a period where I hemorrhaged money with the Facebook. There was a period that I hemorrhaged money full stop between high ticket offers and programs that I did that didn't really work. Or they worked to a point. I wouldn't say none of them did give me any information, but they'd always only give me layers of information. I was left without any. I was left without, how can I put it? I was left with holes. It's like getting a puzzle and someone gives you a part of the puzzle put together, but then they miss pieces out of it. So you don't have all of the pieces of your puzzle to really be able to drive your business forward. And when you bought 1, 2, 3 high ticket, that's not a nice place to be. Then you get to a point where you think, oh, you know what? I finally got there. I've got everything done, but I'm not working in any strategic order. And then I started burning through money in ads, feeling like if I can just get some exposure, if I can just get people to see me, then yeah, I'll make it. For a long time, I was reliant on advertising or reliant on, your Facebook, your LinkedIn, relying on paying for something, and I just wasn't getting the results. So, I had to figure out, how do I maximize my monthly earnings? At that time when I was in my transition of bootstrapping, because I was freelancing and contracting and starting my own business, I've got a mortgage to pay. I've got 3 children. They've got activities. I've got a mum to look after. Okay. And all of our lives are different, but it's about figuring out, how do I maximize my monthly earning? And even if you're in a place, what I'm trying to say, of whether you've got 0 or you're not earning 0, you can still maximize. We can still double. We can go from 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3. Next thing you know, you're at 10, 20, 30, 40, and we're on our way. Okay, so we want to figure out how to earn more, even if your business gets fewer customers. So you've all met me. I'm not going to bore you with the yada, yada, yada. My name's Natalia. You've all heard my story. You all know who I am. If you haven't heard my story, it is on YouTube, but it's been a journey. That's all I can say. I'm 47 years of age, and really, my business life didn't really take off until my early 40s. I spent from 23 years of age until my late 30s in the school of hard knock, figuring it out, going to conferences, joining masterminds at ridiculous prices, going to high ticket. Like I said, wasting money on digital advertising, keep coming up with different offers, keep change. My husband would say chopping and changing. I still maintain that I was always in the coaching space and always been in marketing. I graduated in marketing, but coming up with different business models, always changing something, expecting that this one change is going to get me closer to where I need to be. So it's been a journey. But I have worked with some amazing brands along my way. Although I didn't come into my own in my 40s as being a business owner, before then, I've always been in the self-employed or contract arena. And I've had the pleasure of working with some great brands. Godiva did a stint in Dubai, BT, huge telecoms company. Google, I've been with Google for a long time. There's even companies that are not here. JP Morgan, I've run boot camps for them. Vodafone, London Mayor's Office, working with small businesses. So I've been around for a while in terms of really understanding how to get visible online. But in terms of it working for myself, it's an amazing thing when you're good at something that you can do it so well for other people. But when it's your own, it's not so clear. But again, I came into my own being a business owner, of generating income for myself and not having to rely on corporates. Most of you know my story. I got sick of that dangling carrot of being told it's coming, things are going to get better, and it didn't. So I promise you, this training is going to be the best use of your time. So if you want to launch some type of coaching, consultancy, content creator business, you want to be visible online, but you don't know kind of where to start in the digital realm. You're online, but you haven't got a clear strategy. If you're tired of just trying different methods and you're trying different things, but you're not really getting to where you need for that monthly income and sales, the 3 steps is going to get you more without a complicated marketing strategy. And before you enter into putting together your funnel or your program is what we're going to cover today. So what makes most womenpreneurs fail? It's always customer acquisition. It's always finding customers. When it comes to putting our product together, putting a program together, understanding how we're going to take our client from where they are now to what success looks like for them in terms of what we do. A lot of the times we are super clear on that. That's our passion. That's what drives us. That's what gives us grit, tenacity, and makes us that black female entrepreneur that is not taking no for an answer, is going to get to where she's going. Customer acquisition, however, when it comes time to launch and get the business in, this is where sometimes for many of us, it can start to feel like, oh Lord, please help. So have you ever experienced the same results? And if you have, I would love for you to put it into the chat. I would love to know, as I'm going through today, whether I'm talking from a place of just an experience that I experienced, or it's something similar that you've experienced and how you feel as well. The beauty about this community is that we can come together and be fully transparent with one another and help one another to level up. And it is possible to be absolutely amazing at what you do. It is possible to have loads of clients, but they might not be paying the right amount. It might not be enough for you to really grow your business or grow yourself or have the type of lifestyle that you want. And this is where we've got to start looking at the KPIs and objectives to make sure that we are reaching where we need to be in life. As Black female entrepreneurs, we can't always keep serving other people, whether it's our family, our children, our community, our clients. We have to be able to help ourselves so we can help even more people. So these next two steps is really going to greatly affect your monthly sales. So what I want you all to look at is how could you increase the number of customers, which let's face it, we all want. How can we increase the transaction size? It's a fact that you can increase your prices by 20% and the likelihood of you losing any business is incredibly low. Facts. Or, thinking about how do you increase the purchasing frequency? For many of us, we need to look at our business models. Maybe a subscription business model will be better. Okay. Maybe, a bespoke coaching service where, each person has something different. Maybe not a bespoke, maybe something that's more standardized. Maybe a trial period. There's so many different types of business models out there, but purchasing frequency is really important in terms of what you offer in the customer life cycle. How long is it until that person might need another service from you, and really thinking about that strategically. So I want you to get a piece of pen and paper. I'm going to slow down. Sorry, the pace is because I'm excited. And I just want you to think, all of you have got an offer. Many of you have got multiple offers. One thing I want to say to you about offers is this. If you've only got one offer, that means you are competing with everybody in your arena and market share, marketplace, market sector, whatever you want to call it. When you have more than one product offering, especially if you have a bundle as one of those product offerings, that is what can set you apart from your competitors. So we kind of want to stay away with just having one single thing that we offer, that there are many competitors that offer the same thing. We wanted to be able to offer a bundle, and we also want to be able to offer products and services that fit the life cycle, of our target audience and customer segments. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is that we really want to make sure we understand, okay, this is our target audience and these are the segments within our target audience. Within each segment, what is it that I'm offering them in terms of their life cycle, meaning the problem that I'm solving with my product or service, how long does it take for them to do that or use that until they need something else? And in that time, once they do need something else, what is that next thing that they need in their life cycle? By understanding that, it means you can understand your cash flow better. Okay, so I want all of you on this call to think about what is the main thing that you offer. That main thing that you offer is often referred to as your core offer. Okay, many a time it's a really great idea to collect leads and nurture your audience. Then it's a good idea to have something that's an entry point offer, something that, someone can try and taste for a taste, meaning try, whether it's a product or a service. Most of you here have got a service, but an entry point offer is really something that you can give for a really low value for someone to say, okay, that was great, I'm going to take it to the next level. And then your core offer is the main thing that you sell. From your core, there should be some type of ascension ladder where you'll keep upselling, and we're going to look at that in a minute. Okay, but for all of you, I want you to think about what's the main service, the main product, service, same thing. What's the main service that I offer? How much is it? And within 2026, how many customers do I want? So taking the example that you are looking at right now on the screen, if your product was $100 and you had 500 customers, that's $50,000 for the year. So I want you to take some time, and I want you to, when I say time, don't overthink it. You can refine all of this. I want you to think about how much is my core offer? How many customers do I want in a year? I literally want you to think how many days a week. If you're going to work 3 days a week, you can fit X amount of clients in. I want you to work out the numbers. Okay, how much is your core product? What is the price of it? And how many customers do you want in a year? And that's what's going to give you your potential of what you're about to earn in 2026. So the example of this on the screens, if a product costs $100, if we've got 500 customers, that's $50,000 for the year. But what happens if you increase your customers? If you increase your customers, you're going to increase your revenue. So that $100 product Instead of having 500 customers, if you've got 1,000, you've now gone from 50,000 to 100,000. Makes sense? When you're connected to the numbers, it starts to make you understand how many customers you need. And it starts to make you understand, well, hang on a minute. If I can make that from that amount of customers, I've got more time to do double that amount. Let's aim for this amount of customers. Okay? It doesn't stop there. The frequency that they buy in. Quite often, we're so focused on getting new customers, we don't think about the customers that we've already got. And we don't think, how can we use the great experience of the customers we've already got to get more customers on board, which is the golden marketing word of mouth. So you want to increase the frequency in which someone buys from you. That is customer retention, because that means that this person would have bought from you and you want them to buy from you again and again and again. So this might force you to maybe look at your business model and your actual offering. Because if you've got 1,000 customers a year, yeah, your product is $100. So remember, that's 100,000. But if they buy that product twice for the year, that number's now gone up to 200,000. So I want you to think about your core offer. And I want you to think, well, depending on how long your offer lasts, what is it your customer would need after that very first purchase? Okay, what would they need to buy from you again? How frequently do they want to buy? And all of these questions for some of you might be forcing you to maybe look at your business and make some changes, make some adjustment, or make some amendments. You know, it's always important to be able to think in strategically at all times. So you've got your customers, you've got, you know, your core offering. I now want you to think about, how often does someone need this product for you? And maybe after today, you might think about other things you can introduce into your program after that first thing you sell. So again, you're increasing the frequency. Then I want you to think about the transaction size. Okay, so you've got a product. Again, now we're going to put your product up to $200. So we said the product's $100. So what happens if you increase the product amount, the value amount, and you put it to 200? That 1,000 customers, they're buying twice a year. That's now $400,000. Okay, and think about it. The transaction size. You don't just have to double your price. You know, some of you might be thinking, hell, people don't even want to pay what I'm charging now, never mind doubling it. But maybe when you create the bundle, you might create a bundle that warrants the value of the product going up. So now you've offered something else with your product that makes it higher value, where you can charge double the amount. And can you see the knock-on effect that it has on the figures? It means rather than the product being $100, it's $200. So I want you to really think about this for your business and think about, what is your potential to earn in 2026? Because the results are, you're going to get more customers, you're going to get more monthly sales by encouraging them to buy from you again, and you would have sold more products. So it's a win-win. And this was me. For decades, I kept leaving a lot of money on the table. And you can do this even if your business model can only handle a small amount of small number of customers. Even if you've got one customer, you can do this. Okay, it's not about feeling like, well, I'm not even on the map to do this. It doesn't matter. It's about growing. It's about growth. It's about not leaving money on the table. It's about looking at your audience and figuring out, how do I get them to buy twice from me and more frequently? What can I do to my offer to increase the value in the price of it? Okay, what can I do in terms of the actual product? So, you know, think about it. If you now started to increase your number of customers by 10%, you're going to keep increasing that bottom line by 10%. So the first thing is reaching that first KPI of what it is that you want to earn. Then it's about thinking, okay, how can I increase my customers? So if you say, right, the customers I've got now, I'm going to increase them by 10%, it means you're going to increase your bottom line by 10%. What happens if you increase the frequency by 10%? Again, you're going to increase it from that one, you're going to increase it to the 121,000. Okay. What happens if you increase the transaction size by 10%? And you can see where this is going. And sometimes we're so connected to the creativity because we're so used to having to do things and, you know, do things, launch them, be creative, connect with people. We're so into our business and what we offer and being so good at what we do. It's easy to drop the ball on the strategy and drop the ball on the numbers and just drop the ball on just looking at how do I get from point A to point B? How do I not leave money on the table? Thinking strategically when you're in your own business and you are trying to fight through all the fog and put out all the fires and just stay on top of everything is incredibly, incredibly hard. But don't let the simplicity fool you too much. Yes, it is simple, but as we all know, listening to me on this call, it's not always that simple. It's great looking at it from this viewpoint, but when you're in it and you've got to be thinking about content to put together, you've got to be thinking about video, you've got to be thinking about software and technology, automation, email, newsletters, keeping connected to your audience, customer services, your offering, coming up with webinars, and you are doing loads of these different things. It's not that simple to just say, my product's this amount, I'm going to increase my customers, because a lot of you are probably thinking, well, where are my customers coming from? It's not like I've got a whole door of them. And then you can focus so much on getting customers that you end up doing things like lowering your price rather than putting them up, feeling like, well, if I drop them lower, I'll be able to get the customers in. If I can just get that ball rolling, others will find out about it and I'll be off. And through desperation, we start trying a lot of different things. And for Black female entrepreneurs, the biggest thing that we always do is devalue what we do. We're not thinking about increasing prices. We're not thinking about increasing customers. We're not thinking about frequency. We're just there and we want to be able to just try and get a yes and get a sell. So we end up devaluing ourselves a lot of times. How many of you here have worked in an organization, whether it's freelance contract or consultancy, or here in the UK, we call it PAYE, or you've been employed by someone where it just feels like you can't catch a breath. It just feels like, you can't get a break to where it is that you want to go. And you are watching other people around you get paid more than you, get more visible than you. They're even younger than you. And we accept it. And that's why it's time to start really breaking some boundaries and really being able to do it for ourselves. So the 3-step profit accelerator, it's about having small steps that you need to follow to make it work. And those small steps that you need is the customer value journey, also known as a user journey, also known as a funnel. Okay. For you to be able to implement the 3-step profit maximizer, you've got to have a great brand. You've got to understand who your brand is, what your brand promises, and you need to understand who your target audience is. And you also need to understand what are the customer segments that sit within my target audience. You cannot market the same to a whole mass of people. Okay, you have to be able to segment them and differentiate them. So you need to be clear on your target audience, yes, which is your wider audience, which is a part of your brand, but you also need to understand who are the segments that make up that target audience. Once you've done that, that's when you really need to build out your funnel. And the first step is really thinking, okay, how do I make people aware of me? How do I drive traffic to this funnel? How do I drive traffic to this customer value journey? So the awareness stage is literally you saying, here, I'm over here, look at me. And this is doing things like the summit, speaking at it. This is doing things on your organic social media. This is doing things like your lead generation on LinkedIn. This is doing things like starting a podcast, be it YouTube or Spotify or Apple. This is you picking a digital channel, working with influencers, being on TikTok, Blue Sky Thinking, Reddit. This is how you're going to make people aware of you. Events, networking. So this is where you really want to think, where does my audience hang out? What channels am I going to be hanging out on? And what marketing initiatives am I going to be doing on these channels to make my audience aware of me? And to do that, you've really got to understand what their pain points are. So when you're talking to them, you're talking to their pain points and they can look at you as an authority. Everything you do on every channel, every marketing you do should have a call to action. So the next touch point that you want to push a prospect to is engage, that consideration stage. You want your prospect to consider you. This is where you're going to give them more information about you, because if anybody's interested in you, they're going to do some research and they're going to find out if anybody else does what you do. Do they do it cheaper? Do they do it as a better quality? What are the different offerings there? So at this stage, if you can offer content that's the objection to sell, you're going to help your prospects actually consider using your services. So the engagement stage can look like multiple things. Not everybody likes picking up the phone anymore. Some people still love doing it. So whether it's a phone call, an email, pushing it to YouTube to give them tutorials to find out more, a webinar, whatever the case may be. From there, you really want to push them into opting into something so you can collect their details. Not every time that you're selling does somebody want to buy. So by collecting their details and having a CRM, you are growing what's called owned traffic. There are only 3 traffic sources, okay? You've got owned traffic, which is the best traffic to have. Borrowed traffic, which might be being a guest, being at the summit, being on a podcast, where you're going to take traffic from someone else's community into your own. And then you've got paid traffic, which is your digital advertising. Once you've collected somebody's email address or telephone number, you can nurture them and then they convert. Okay, from convert, you want to make people feel really excited. You want them to feel so relieved that they bought from you. They're glad they bought from you. It was the best decision they made, because now you're going to take them up an ascension ladder of upselling them. Once you take up the ascension ladder, you want advocacy. All the people that think that what you did was great and it really helped them, you want to make sure you're getting content and reviews to feed that back down into the excite and the engage stage. And then there's promote, where other people are promoting your business on behalf of you, which is affiliate, franchising, some type of brand partnership. Okay, so the customer value journey, also known as the funnel, are the smaller steps that you need to strategically think about, put together and craft to be able to then use the 3-step profit maximizer and think, how do I get more customers? Okay, how do I charge more for my product? How do I get my customer to buy more frequently from me? It is as simple, but there are smaller steps that go into that, into really being able to craft out a strategy. And remember what I said before that, you've got the brand, you've got understanding your audience, you've got the offer that you need to make. Your offer needs to be able to connect with the end user so they're biting off your arm to buy in. What happens in many of our businesses is wrong messaging, wrong communication going out. The content's not actually getting the point across in the way that you would like to the end user. You understand what you mean, but they're using a different language. So now you're speaking French and they're speaking Japanese. And it's about really making sure that you create a user journey or a funnel that just flows like water. So this is exactly what I've done for my own businesses, not just Women in Digital Business. I've also done it. It's jumped as it jumped. I've also done it for my candle business and Inspirational Gifts, where I was an e-commerce seller on Shopify and Amazon seller. And that was really my first successful business in e-commerce. And, you know, when it comes to selling online, it's all about making human connection and building personable relationships through technology, which is actually not the easiest thing to do. Okay, because what happens to many of us is that we get software and get technology brought into the equation, and then we start to change everything we're doing to fit the software. The software was not built for human to human connection. You've got to make sure that your software connects with the user journey, otherwise known as the funnel that you have built out.
Can you go back one page just so I can see that again?
Yeah, of course I can. Oh, what have I done? Hang on. Sorry, I'm now drawing something. There you go. So, you know, whether you want to call it, and sometimes I find people find it easier to conceptualize the user journey. But essentially, this is what a funnel is. This is about what you're going to think about, what you're going to do really strategically. So one of the things that we are going to be doing at the summit, I too have got my own masterclass as well. And one of the things that I'm going to be offering is the community classroom. Okay, so it's exclusive access to our community classroom, where there is an array of Women in Digital Business playbooks. I mean, playbooks about Facebook advertising, how to put a podcast together, how to grow a mailing list. These are technical manuals all around all the digital channels and topics to really be able to help you get your business visible. And it's not just about being visible, for you to learn more. When you go through playbooks, that's when you might think, yeah, that's not for me. That's not, I don't want to be writing blogs. Does that make sense? When you get to see what goes into creating content, and when you get to learn about all the digital channels, it makes it easier for you to make decisions on how you're going to drive traffic to your funnel, to that user journey. because unless you really understand all the digital channels, it's really difficult for you to say, which one am I going to use from which one am I not going to use? So our community classroom offers an array of women in digital business playbooks, literally from Facebook to, you know, how to start a TikTok campaign, to how to start, you know, an Amazon account, how to start a podcast, how to use YouTube. It really does just give you all the information that you need on all the channels in digital marketing, as well as how to create the content assets. Sorry, I'm falling all over my words. So it's just designed to help you stay supported, accountable, and ahead. It's really where ambitious women like you come together to build not just businesses, but lasting legacies. Many of us have got what's called legacy businesses, and it's time to get it on track. So we've done a special offer for you at the summit. It is $497 for a year, or $47 a month. But you don't just get the playbooks, ladies. You also get a monthly masterclass from me, and you also get 2 group coaching calls every month. Okay. At those that join, more dates will get added on. At the moment, it is every first Tuesday and last Tuesday of the month with different slots available that I will have a group coaching session. So this is where you really get to be able to come into our community classroom and say to me, my team, look, I'm stuck. This is where I'm at. This is what I'm thinking about. What do you think? So they're not really coaching calls. If I was to be honest with you, they're more like consultative calls. It's a place and a space for you to be able to come out and thrash out your ideas and figure out your strategy and figure out where it is that you want to get to. So at the summit, we're actually doing $497 for the whole entire year, or $47 a month. And even at that price, where can you get a 2-hour group coaching call every month, an array of playbooks, and a monthly masterclass? Okay. And you, like I said, you get those 2 group coaching calls every month with that human connection of being able to connect with me, connect with others, have peer-to-peer learning, lean on my experience. It is. And we did this because we thought this is great value. But after speaking to many of you these last few weeks, I felt like I want to offer this to you as speakers, but just give it to you for an absolute no-brainer price of the $197 for a full year of that every month. That's 12 months, or just $29 a month. Okay? So I genuinely want to help. There's some of you that I've had some conversations with, and I can just see the money that you've left on the table. I'm brimming and I'm bursting with ideas. I've got case studies. I can see where some of you can change things, and your business would just be off the hook. It would just take off. I can see it. So that's a special offer that I wanted to offer you today. It's only available until once the summit starts. It's $497.47 because that's the price that we're going. So what you're seeing today, if you sign up today, you're never, ever going to see the price again. And there's more. For those of you that feel like, okay, 2 group coaching calls a month is just not enough. I need something more, Natalia. I just want to be able to really just get this show on the road and figure out all those jigsaw puzzle pieces that I'm speaking about, the pieces of the puzzle that's all over the floor. We need to put it back together, create a picture, and get you where to you want to be. So if you're looking for something that is a lot more supportive than that's really going to help you through, what we've done is we put something together called the Coaching Mastery Program. And we've actually run this before, but this time we've revamped it. And we've revamped it based on the conversations that I've had with you this summer and really understanding what you need. But we've run it before, and there are many reviews about this program. So it's a 12-week program. So if you're a coach and you are feeling like a bit lost in terms of, okay, my brand, my audience, what exactly is my offer? What's my business model? What's the pricing? Really figuring out how to put your business together, then get yourself visible and get yourself online. For many of you, you've done it already, but what happens is for every time something doesn't work and you change something, it has a knock-on effect in another area. So many times we need to go back through everything you've done. And that's what the Coaching Mastery Program is about. So week 1 is the foundations of like digital coaching and speaking. So actually looking at, okay, if you've got a digital business, you're making yourself known online, you're teaching, coaching, facilitating, counseling, whatever the case may be, you're doing it online with people. It's just looking at the foundation of that, the model of that, and how that works, and really bringing the numbers back into it again. Okay, so really doing a deep dive into, okay, what's your offer? What's the value? And just going almost through the 3-step profit maximizer, but in a very detailed way, and build your actual foundation of your coaching and speaking business, and be very, very clear about who you are, who you target, what your brand and what your brand promise is, what your KPIs are, what your targets are, and having everything laid out within your business. Understanding who your audience is, all of it. Week 2, we look at the content creation and the storytelling. Okay, content creation is everything. Content is the vehicle that you're going to use to be able to connect with people. Okay, it's all about connection. AI is coming, AI is here. It's going to change the way that we do things in the next 3 to 5 years. You need to be on the right side of it. The one thing that AI cannot recreate is human connection. And now that we're working through tablets, laptops, and smartphones, you know, more than ever, it's harder to create that human connection because we're doing it through technology. But when you do it successfully, ooh, that's where you find the sweet spot. Okay, week 3 is mastering public speaking. It's the art of storytelling. It's the art of the hook, the story, the offer. When you master public speaking, you also master putting a webinar, a masterclass, and getting people's attention in a structure and a way that really grabs them emotionally. You know, we're going to look at week 4, building your online presence, really understanding about the digital footprint. Week 5 is all about customer acquisition and retention. Week 6 is about hosting webinars and workshops, especially from a technical point of view. You know, what do people want in a webinar? What's the messaging going to be like? What's the content of it? Again, tying back in that storytelling, but also looking at the technical side of running webinars and that automation piece. Okay, so it's a 6-week program. We then go into week 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, where really this starts to really become about taking it to that next level, monetizing your expertise. What does that look like? Scaling your coaching business, getting real advanced speaking techniques, which we have guests actually come in and go through that with you. Networking and collaboration. Networking has changed so much. It's not what it used to be. Look what we've done together as ladies, as networking, and we've all done that online. Many of us from the comfort of our home. Personal development, mindset, you know, launching your actual signature program, looking at the technology that you're going to choose to actually put all the automation together. So some of you here on this call have actually done a program that we do called Funnel Mastery, called the Queen of Funnels. That's the nickname that's been developed for me. And those who are here, if you are on the call, you know, please do put in the chat how useful that you have found it. And this 12-week program is made up of that program of really being able to build out your funnel. Okay, that customer journey that I went through, I work with you. You know, you'll have an online course every single week. Then you'll also have a 2-hour group consultancy. Cohorts are always in the size of 6 because then you've got accountability partners and it's small and it's intimate. Again, those of you that have gone through Queen of Funnels, you know, even just the structure, the online course, the consultancy, and what that feels like when you're in the small group. Drop it into the chat. Please let others on the call know. It's been a brilliant experience. It's very intimate. So you've got the online course where, yes, it's online and you can learn, but you've got the accountability because you've got to show up every week with me and 5 other women where we go through what you've done every week, what you don't understand, put clarification on it, consult, coach, you make a decision, you move on to the next week. Within that time, for every time you learn something every single week, you will go back and you will actually change what you've done. And you're going to do that with us and within your cohort. That is better than you constantly launching, constantly trying things, wasting money, wasting time, wasting resource. You do it on the program. So at the end of the program, because you've done the work every week, because you've refined, you've revised, you've looked at, you know, what's come back from the work that you've done in the previous week, you've optimized, you've made changes. It means that at the end of the program, you are left with a solid blueprint and foundation of your marketing plan, which is the funnel that you can now go away and implement. The difference with the coaching mastery is that we also look at your whole entire coaching business. Okay, we look at how you deliver your classes, how you storytell, the webinar, everything. So it's a really, really detailed 12-week program that gets you to revise everything in your business, from the name to the brand to your product offering to how you tell stories, how you deliver content, how you speak, how you perfect your keynote, and then how do you market? How do you build a funnel step by step with me? How do you drive the traffic to it? Okay, and 12 weeks is a good amount of time. Anything less than that, those that did the funnel program, it's 6 weeks, because their business was already trading, already done. They were fine around that. But if you are at a point where you've got a business, but your website still needs work, you're chopping and changing when you speak to someone with your offering, you haven't got a set offer, you know, you don't have a signature keynote, you don't have a webinar, masterclass, or some type of lead magnet that can really showcase what you do, and you're not working in a strategic manner and you're just trying things and it's uncoordinated, it's a really great program. So if you want to secure your spot now, this is going to start, the next cohort is going to start the week straight after the summit. So it's week commencing the 3rd of November. So if you do want to secure your spot now, go ahead. Again, we will be offering this at the summit. But again, for you guys as speakers, I just wanted to make sure that I just gave you a complete and utter no-brainer price. So, you know, think about it. If all the coaching mastery program did was to help you be consistent, increase your monthly sales, you got to ask yourself, would it be worth it? You know, would it be worth it to have a business that you've got a whole model for, you know, exactly what technology you're going to use, the automation, your offer, you know, who your audience is, you've got a website, everything is seamless and everything connects together like a puzzle that has got no missing pieces. And on top of it, you're actually getting clients. You know, if all it did was eliminate even just the overwhelm, the anxiety of marketing your coaching services, ask yourself, would it be worth it? And if all it did was empower you to take decisive action with each lesson and just propel you towards your goals, your KPIs, where you can see it's about to happen, would it be worth it? And you already know the answer. So put any questions into the chat. But that program is $5,000 that we usually charge. These are the same programs that I was getting charged $20,000-$25,000, and I keep myself really current with what's going on in terms of software, algorithms, AI. You know, we use a lot of AI tools. All of those things are things that you will find out more in the program. But for you, it's just simply going to be $1,997, simply with a $100 deposit. Okay, and then every month the rest of the payments will be split into 3. So we start week commencing the 2nd of November. So you'll have an installment in November, an installment in December. We then break for Christmas. So we break mid December, and then we come back in January and do the last 3rd month. Okay, so it's $1,997. All it is today is $100. Sorry, look at me in the UK. $100 deposit. And then from there, the rest of the balance will be 3 payments in November, December, and January. And that's it. And honestly, ladies, it's genuine. A few of you asked me, you know, what do you do, how we can work? And I just felt like that's what our funnel's leading to from the summit. I run a masterclass as well, and these will go through to audit calls, by the way. I'll speak to people just to make sure they're ready on the program, and that's our upsell. But we have slashed the prices for you guys because we want to see you win, because we want to win together, because we're building the table together. So that is the offer we've got for you today. And when you do the coaching program, you automatically become a member of the community classroom. So for those of you that feel like, you know, you just want a check-in point, you need some help to get yourself visible, you need some questions answered, you need some direction, you know, you've got the playbooks, the master books, the community element of staying connected and meeting the other women, the community is absolutely perfect. For those of you that are serious and want to get your business to where you need it to be in 2026, you know, Coaching Mastery is a brilliant program. Princess, if you could put the links into the chat, that would be absolutely great. So there are pages for the coaching program, pages for the community, and you'll even see on the coaching program, there are reviews on there. The coaching program is not one of our new programs. We've actually run it for a while. We've just revamped it and revised it, making sure that, you know, we deliver exactly what it is that you need to bring your business forward. So any questions, let me know. I'm going to stop sharing screen. Where's my settings? I can't actually see myself. There we go. I can see all of you. So I can see the chat. Wow, I know there's a lot. Princess, I know you've probably been answering in all of them. Sorry, just no problem, ladies. We'll be debriefing again. Sorry, just going through the chat. Oh, thank you, Thierry, about the personal text invites. Right, here we go. We're still in the process of updating the schedule. That's Princess. Sorry, I'm just going through all the messages. I'm glad you feel the same. Being there and there, get it. And again, this community is all about being transparent. Oh, I love all the messages in the chat. Oh, Leafia Owens. I was thinking about you this week because I know we missed each other. Nice to have you here. No problem. Doreen had to drop off. Okay, go back one slide. I remember that. Right, brilliant. Princess has put into the chat with the community. Join our community. There is a discount code. Thank you, Celia. I can imagine Princess telling me off. On the Become a Coach, we've got a page for you, the special checkout. So even on the Coaching Mastery, if you go onto our website right now, and it's been there for the whole time, that I've been speaking to you at the summit, so some of you might have seen it. That Coaching Mastery program, generally, we sell it for $5,000. It's not a joke. It's not a gimmick. We're not trying to say, oh, it's this price and try and make you feel a particular way. If you go onto our website, and that page has been there all of this year, we generally sell that program for $5,000. So it really is a steal at $1,997. So the code for the community, Cecilia, you was asking, is, there we go. For the coaching program, it's the checkout is all ready for you at that $1,197. And do not forget, the lock-in is only $100 for the Coaching Mastery, and then it's a three payment. Right, Abigail, having the small group. Oh, thank you, Abigail. Having the small group and the 2-hour consulting calls are invaluable. I've made giant progress on making my business better than I have in the past 2 years. Thank you for that, Abigail. Oh, Princess. Right, Princess seems to have got you. Ladies, I can see some of you have got to jump off. We are like 10, 12 minutes over. I don't want to keep you for anything longer. Thank you, Portia. No problem at all. All your questions have been answered. It's the launch on Monday. Again, promote the summit. And please don't forget, it's actually a 6-week window now. We are not going to be holding back on promotion. We kicked off a few weeks ago, heavy hitting with the tickets, and we're going to keep going. And the visibility is going to be brought to the summit right the way up to the end of November for Black Friday. No problem at all. Thank you, Frida. Right, ladies, I'm going to let you go. I know some of you have to drop off. Please make sure you've taken the links out of the chat. Honestly, ladies, I did want to do something really special. So I look forward to seeing some of you in the community, and I can't wait for those of you that join the coaching program and we meet each other as a cohort, because it's absolutely amazing. Thank you, Alberto. Right, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thanks, Michelle. Bye, Frida. Any questions at all, drop it on the WhatsApp. Make sure you email us. Let's just stay connected. Anything at all, please make sure you reach out. And yeah, see you on Monday for the launch, and no doubt we'll be speaking in between. And looking forward to working with some of you as well. I really am. Thank you, guys. Take care.